Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today we got primarily XRP on the schedule. We also got a couple of really interesting pieces though over at the end. So if you enjoy crypto news, make sure that you press that like button, but more importantly, make sure that you subscribe, as you can always unsubscribe again if you don't enjoy it anymore. Having said that, let's start off where we should start off. What is going on with the crypto market? Well, Rand Neuner actually describes it in a way that I would like to describe it myself as well. He says, crypto was way overdue for a leverage shakeout, but there is no way it continues downwards if the stock markets continue to all-time highs. I suspect either crypto is leading the markets down or it will have a huge catch-up bounce to stock markets. To be honest with you guys, I'm on the exact same page. It's just really illogical for crypto to go down at this point if the stock market is continuing to be bullish. Then again, guys, I've already described it before. December is an extremely scary month. There's a huge amount of announcements that go out throughout this month, a huge amount of decisions that need to be made for the next year, sometimes next decade or so. And so all these Fed decisions, all these numbers regarding inflation, bond buying, all the repurchasing things, everything in that little ballpark can have a huge effect on stocks, which ultimately can have a huge effect on crypto yet again. And so we're not 100% sure that's going to catch up, but it's most logical. Let's just put it like that. Having said that, that's like the neutral crypto stuff. Let's actually quickly round off that neutral crypto stuff before then moving on really harshly into XRP stuff, as it's a really interesting episode. Keanu Reeves, one of the national heroes, he also said, I have a little hodl. That's what he said. In a new interview to promote the Matrix Resurrections, Keanu Reeves shared his thoughts on holding crypto, NFTs, and the metaverse. And again, we can make this a very long story, but he just basically says that he holds some, which I like. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know. I just feel some sort of connection in that sense when all these guys say, like, they don't go with the normal flow of things saying, oh, that's too risky, that's too scary. I have a little hold. It's like adapting to a certain sense where I'm like, he's a man pleasing all audiences. I really appreciate that, even though it doesn't really affect me literally. I just like hearing those statements from very or interestingly famous celebrities. And also last one, just to kind of conclude the crypto, other news, and then the XRP stuff. Sell all $10 trillion of gold and buy Bitcoin, advises MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor. MicroStrategy's boss, Michael Saylor, has maintained his optimism in Bitcoin, saying there is no hope for the dead rock that is called gold. Bitcoin has rallied 63% from the start of the year up to now, and gold in comparison has actually shed over 9% over the same period. He also just bought a freaking ton more Bitcoin, not exactly sure what the amount was. As of the 9th of December, they hold 122,000 Bitcoin for $3.66 billion. Average price, $29,000. That is masterful, though. That is crazy. However, let's put that in the past. Let's cover some XRP juicy stuff. So first of all, breaking. The SEC now arguing it has not officially declared Bitcoin Ether compliant cryptos, according to testimony in the SEC v. Ripple that appears to be a 180 from not just Bill Hinman's speech, but the regulatory approach of former chairman Jay Clayton. Gary Gensler, Spox, has declined comment. More with Liz Cleman at 3:45 p.m. at Fox Business. And the next Crypto Wolf asked, who's worse, Gary Gensler or Jay Clayton? But this was all yesterday. We kind of caught up on that one already. But Charles Gasparino, he doesn't sit lightly, or at least his team and the guys over there, they don't take these things lightly. No, they're going rather harsh over on their Twitter, talking about all the interesting numbers in the general markets, but also, guys, take a look at this. John Deaton, all these guys are all coming together piece by piece to just showcase what the strange parts are in all of this. Like, for example, Tiger shared former SEC Commissioner Troy A. Paredes and Securities Attorney Scott H. Kimple viewed Hinman's speech as the view of the staff and not his personal opinion. Basically coming back on the fact that we at first saw, right, that Ethereum from a certain perspective is not a security because they got like the hall pass sort of by the SEC. From a certain perspective, there's never been a determination made. Literally here we're saying that the SEC is arguing it has never officially declared Ethereum or Bitcoin safe. Then again, if we look at William Hinman's speech, the whole question comes up and we ask, is it fact that William Hinman's speech is SEC opinion? Or is it just his own personal opinion that's just heavily influenced by the SEC? And logically, people of ordinary intelligence would deduce that it's also an SEC opinion, but it's officially not following the official law. Well, right now, we're noticing that even more SEC commissioners are coming out and kind of stating that they, in hindsight now, thought that it was actually the real deal. Because, once more, there's been so many edits made by the SEC to make sure that he wasn't saying anything quote-unquote wrong. If that's the case, I mean, if the SEC said, yeah, it's fine, you can say this, isn't it logical that an SEC member can't literally state that, like, his own opinions because they're completely freaking illegal, if you guys get my drift? Like, for example, if Jay Clayton all of a sudden came up while he was chairman, or not, let's use Gary Gensler as an example. If Gary Gensler right now comes up to a stage and he says, yeah, I think we should actually go crazy on ICOs. They're really amazing, man. I think they're really good. But it's freaking illegal to buy into them. Wouldn't that be kind of strange? So, for example, for William Hinman to say something about Ethereum or about ICOs and all the statuses, wouldn't it kind of be odd if what he says really had no relevance? And that's also what those SEC commissioners are thinking. And now things are coming kind of together, if you ask me. So we already heard a little bit earlier that Empower Oversight sued the SEC for access to FOIA documents amid crypto conflict of interest concerns. And it usually comes back to a couple of different points, which are, did the SEC or any internals there benefit from the regulation regarding crypto? And did they benefit in a way where they made some sort of judgment or non-judgment in relationship to the amount of money that they would receive if that specific thing were to happen? That's right now is being developed or found out. In August, Empower submitted a detailed FOIA request to the SEC seeking any communication related to senior SEC officials and their current and former employers regarding crypto. A very logical request. Again, we're talking about a government agency. Former senior SEC chairman, official William Hinman received millions of dollars in compensation from his former employer, Simpson Thacher, while helping guide the SEC's regulation of crypto. Hinman helped promote Enterprise Ethereum during his time at the SEC, and the creator of another crypto known as XRP was later sued by the SEC, which claimed that it was a security, causing XRP to lose a quarter of its value, which is actually an integral and key part later on. The man who brought the lawsuit against XRP, Mark Berger, left for Simpson and Thacher shortly after Hinman did the same. Did officially Mark Berger bring it? Or I thought it was Jay Clayton. Maybe, because again, guys, I don't have all the details, right? It could be either typoed here, or it's actually Mark Berger who officially brought it to light. Could be both. I'm not too sure about that. The SEC failed to comply with 6 of the 8 categories of documents in Empower Oversight's FOIA request. According to the SEC, searches for 2 of the categories found no records. Empower Oversight filed a complaint against the SEC in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia to compel the SEC to comply with the other 6 categories of the FOIA request. This is Empower Oversight's second FOIA lawsuit filed since its launch. So they're going after it. And Crypto Law said Clayton and Berger, because that's actually an actual, I guess I read this already, right? But it's just, whenever I do these videos, I try to make them as, I'm seeing this now like you guys are seeing it. Because I've obviously read here that they're both together in this, but I want you to always, I don't know what's better. Sometimes I think, maybe it's better for me to just make them in a way where I only state the facts, don't go too much into opinion, and don't make it so sort of interactive where I act like a normal human being. And then otherwise I'm thinking, man, it's on my channel. I do it the way that I think is the most fun and entertaining. And this is the way I like to do it. So for example, when I'm listening to somebody else talk about something, right? I'm like, and he talks about all these informational pieces that I, as a listener, have never heard of. I'm like, well, what is that supposed to be? I don't know. It's just my style. Like, but please put in the comments section down below what I should adopt towards. Because now that I'm, listening to myself talk, I'm thinking maybe it's really stupid. I'm just trying different stuff. All right, Clayton and Berger sued Ripple and crashed XRP, which is why I said it's rather important. They actually were one of the major causes for an XRP price dump. And they said it lost a quarter of its value. Well, it's also relative. I mean, XRP lost a significant amount of money, while the majority of cryptos were actually pumping. So it's definitely not too crazy to say that XRP lost, let's say, 80% of its value or so that it specifically would have had as well. So another opportunity cost should be added to it as well. because of this lawsuit, and crashed in their final moments at the SEC, then immediately took high-paying jobs backing rival assets that benefited from their official acts. SEC now says ethics office had no discussion on either. Why have an SEC ethics office at all? Like, what's the point? And then John Deaton now is coming in about this. Found today, for your information, there have been 16 expert witnesses disclosed in this case between the two sides. Judge Torres, pursuant to Rule 29B of the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure and Rule IC of this court's individual practices, plaintiff, SEC, and defendants Ripple Labs and the rest jointly and respectfully request that the court permit the parties to conduct one more deposition on the 19th, 3 business days after the existing close of expert discovery. Now, we actually covered this already yesterday, so I'm not exactly sure why John Deaton is a little bit late to the party with sharing this. He shared it at 5 a.m. I think we covered it quite a lot before that. Then again, this was filed, and what it basically was about is Ripple saying, and the SEC saying, hey, we have one more guy to interview about 3 days after or 5 days, whatever, 3 days, I don't know exactly when, a couple of days after the original deadline. Let's shift this just a couple more days so we can ask that last guy all the questions that we want to. But let's not mess around with any of the other dates. So if you, for example, had to post a document, let's say now on the 12th of January, let's still keep that date the same. We'll just officially extend the deadline of this phase a couple days, but let's keep all the other deadlines the same so we don't stall the case any further. And that's basically what happened right here and what just happened and came out a little bit earlier today/yesterday, depending on how you interpret the time zones, basically. But all right, I think I showed you guys all I had for right now. Guys, there's another crypto video coming out pretty soon here today. So if you are into crypto news and you'd like more updates, make sure that you press that like button and subscribe to the channel. You can always unsubscribe if you don't enjoy my stuff anymore, but I try my best to make it as entertaining and as informative as possible. So I hope you guys are enjoying all this stuff.